Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So, we're going to get into a specific message. And this is one where it's whatever pops into my head. When that happens, we go with one. And so, I was picturing somebody who either wears contacts and almost like has an they hesitate to have to wear glasses, but they need one or the other. And then it switched to that person also like looking at like wine glasses or glassware of sorts, like beverage drinking glasses, but on a stem. Hi, Violet, good to see you. Um and the thing is, and I don't usually have like thoughts like this that come into my mind that are so detailed, but it was like one eye has worse vision than the other, and it was specifically their right eye. Okay, don't ask me why. And like that's where they would tend to get like eye strain. So if they have contacts but then don't really like to wear their glasses, like I don't know if it's an insecurity thing. It seemed like it was a masculine, by the way. But I don't really know. But it was like specifically one eye needed more correction than the other for vision, but it was somebody who like was either feeling insecure that they were going to have to not wear their contacts but need instead to wear glasses. And then like I said, it shifted to I was seeing like glasses like a long stem. So maybe it's like I don't want to go out on a date to a nice restaurant and have a glass of wine and have to wear my glasses. It could be something along those lines. But let's go ahead and look and see. I don't wear glasses or contacts, so I don't have like a lot of like info on that. Like I don't know, do you not wear contacts all the time? Do you have to swap out, if the contacts are like irritating your eyes, that kind of situation? I could see that being a problem. Oh, we have other kinds of glassware here too. I didn't think of it like that, but like beakers and things that you would see like in a science lab. Okay, but we start with the moon and then we go to the 7 of Pentacles. It almost, I don't know, did somebody like I know this is so hyper focused on like if somebody's going to ask somebody out in like 7 days, or they're going to go out on a date, or they're going to see somebody in 7 days, and they're thinking I'm going to have to wear glasses because my eye is bothered by my contact, and they haven't seen me without with glasses before. Am I going to look different to them? They don't know what I look like wearing glasses. She doesn't know what I look like, and I wonder, because maybe I don't like the look of it, what if she doesn't? It feels like she hasn't seen me yet with glasses. Who cares? It's not why anybody's going to date anybody anyways. Who cares? Glasses, not glasses, doesn't matter. It should be dating for your personality, if that's what this is about. So we have the 10 of Cups in the reverse. For some reason, they seem to be really worried that it's going to be like, oh, game over. That could this really be? Hang on, let me go back to the moon. The moon is what's hidden, it's what's not known. Maybe I'm getting this wrong. Maybe it's more like the glasses and the contact lenses are like a metaphor for they're going to see behind a facade. They're going to see something that I was trying to keep hidden. And that's going to come out in the next 7 days, because this now talks about somebody who has passion. Hi, everyone. So great to see you all. So nice to be with you guys tonight. It seems like some of the glitches are better. I still realize I can't let videos get long, but my videos are processing again. My live streams are processing again. So I'm really excited that I can do videos again. So it's really nice to see you guys. I've missed you this week. This, with the 9 of Swords here, I do feel like they have a ton of stress around her finding something out. The thing is, this says she's already been stressed. She's been sleeping on a bed of nails. We do have 2 towers here, 2 people locked in their own heads with this big scary in between them. Are we starting to get the image that maybe this is like, she's almost saying, I know I'm going to talk to them pretty soon, but whatever they're going to tell me, like, I'm not even sure I want to know, because I'm stressed already thinking about like whatever they're going to have to say, or, if they've got some secret that they're going to reveal to me, and then I'm going to, is it going to hurt? I don't know what they're going to say. This feels like 2 people who have a lot of apprehension now is what it's starting to look like, because there's all these unknowns. Maybe it's just like, I want to go out on this date, but oh my God, I'm so nervous. What if it goes horribly and it's super awkward? We have a 7 of Swords and we have the 6 of Swords. Are 2 people both trying to think, pre-think, okay, but I could make up an excuse and leave if things get weird, awkward. I could have a friend on standby who suddenly needs me, who calls in the middle of the date. That's what this starts to feel like. Let me get another card and see. This is kind of a perplexing one because it could still go in so many different directions. The one thing that we see consistently is a lot of worry because we don't know how something's actually going to play out and we want an escape route. That is what I see in this story. However, it applies in the little details I don't entirely know just yet. King of Cups. Could be he's afraid to find something out too, especially if this is going to be a situation where two people are about to have a communication. We need to go back to this card right here. We got to find out what this is. Whatever's coming in the next 7 days. And there is something coming in the next 7 days. What is it? Wheel of Fortune. So a doorway of opportunity is about to open up. This really could be two people are going to be about to connect, see each other. Queen of Swords, the Devil, and the King of Wands. Okay, so I think we can lock it in now and say there's a lot of apprehension because two people are going to be actually having the opportunity to be in the same place at the same time to talk to each other after having had some very bad, stagnated conversation once upon a time. And I think that there's a lot of worries here. Even though they both really want to see each other, they both really want to talk to each other, it looks like there's a lot of fear around this. Now, there's this one, like a 20% cast in the back of my mind, forecast, that makes me wonder, because this hasn't happened yet, are we seeing something that they both have just a generalized nervousness about, but nothing is actually, like they haven't even set this up? Because the moon says we haven't actually had two people talk, especially not with the giant tarantula in the middle. So is this more like we have two characters that are already predicting what is coming and they sense it, but they can't say it with certainty? It's like, I think in 7 days, myself and this person are either going to bump into each other or one or the other is going to reach out, but it hasn't happened yet. It might be that. It might not be that they've already talked, said, let's see each other in 7 days. It feels too unknown still. It feels more like weird premonition. And then their minds are already, like their subconscious is already freaking out going, oh man, if I saw them again, I mean, I want to. I want to talk to them, but I'm also freaking out because what is that going to be like? Again, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So everything is still growing. We're not there yet. I don't think that these two have encountered each other or have spoken together yet. We have the Seven of Pentacles twice. So we have the same amount of time. And I always look at Seven of Pentacles more as time and ideas that are growing and things that are maybe getting clearer. But we have characters that are perhaps both sensing, thinking, becoming aware that something's going to be happening in this next 7 days. So it is more like premonition, or a thought is growing for each of them. And we have a masculine on one card, feminine on the other for those. And Two of Swords. Right now, I'm going to say that the masculine is currently like blocking himself from taking action, even though he already knows he's going to. And I would put him in the action taker. She seems like she's waiting here, and she seems like she's waiting here. And both times kind of like slumped down, like, I don't know what's going on. Even here, he's the one sitting in the lap of the devil. Like, I'm about to go ahead and send this, but I'm really scared to do it. You know, I'm going to send this message. I'm going to reach out to her. He's still currently blocking himself. But in the next 7 days, there's already, it's like this is already written in the stars. These two are going to talk within a week's time frame. Is there something specific? You know, 7 is a divine number, and we have a 7-7 for them because of the Seven of Pentacles coming out twice. Is there something where the divine is trying to say, you know, we already have divine timing, so there may be like a moment. There could be something massive that actually occurs in 7 days from now that could, you know, promote the two of them to connect. And this actually looks like something that could be quite positive. So maybe they do just bump into each other, or maybe there's something that makes both of them think about each other at the same point in time, or maybe two people I don't know, when you look here across the Grand Canyon, if you've never been to the Grand Canyon, it is more than grand. It is the spectacular, the magnificent, the majestic canyon. It's so much more than I ever thought it was. I was really blown away by it, and I was like, that is such a puny name for what it really is. And I just think that either these two are going to suddenly experience something in the next 7 days. It's going to be like, wow, it's time for something really magnificent in life. And I'm thinking about them and I'm wishing they were standing here beside me. I either see something wonderful or maybe even something that could be, I mean, the Grand Canyon obviously is magnificent, but it is, rocks that were carved a very long time ago. So, maybe something is changing, like a landscape is going to be changing in their lives. And it's like, who I think of at this moment in time, I think about them. I think about what it would be like to be happy with them or to stand beside somebody. It could be something along those lines. And up until it almost feels like things are going to come into focus in the next 7 days. What really matters is happiness, togetherness. And so all these blockages and the fears are going to kind of not be big enough to keep, at least to keep the masculine from reaching out. But again, it's in 7 days. Okay, so let me see. Anything else about what that 10 of Cups? Oh, the Tower. Okay, so there could be something both cataclysmic that occurs as well as super freeing, as well as, I like the Tower. I like change anyway. I think change is, it's inevitable. So we may as well learn to embrace it, right? Look forward to change instead, because life is going to throw us curveballs and we have to adapt to it. And we spend our whole life afraid of change. But it's like we're afraid of the planet we're on, because the planet we're on is, constantly moving and everything is changing. So we have to learn to embrace it because it's a part of us. It's a part of life. So I've kind of like surrendered to it and I dig it now. I think, all right, here we go. I'm leaf on a river, however we're going to go is how we're going to go. Because that's how life is. It's changeable and we'll figure it out. Sometimes you wind up with more confidence when you accept that things are going to change, but you'll figure it out. You'll find the path. You'll find the right thing, even if it's bumpy, even if right now the world is not normal, right? I said this on my other channel. I'm going to keep saying it because I don't like being gaslit. I'll never let myself be gaslit. I'm not a kid anymore who can be told stuff that isn't true and I'm supposed to believe it because somebody smarter than me, bigger than me, more important than me told me. No, I'm an adult. I can say the world is freaking nuts right now. There's nothing normal. And when we approve of that, because the world wasn't like this 20 years ago, 12 years ago, hell, a year and a half ago. This is fucking nuts and we all know it. And I'm not going to be gaslit into pretending that I think something's normal that is not. The world is crazy and everything going on is abnormal. And I'm going to call it that way because I want to get back to normal. I want people to act normal. That's important to be able to say it, to say, okay, when there is flux, when there is huge upheaval and change, here's the thing. It's messy, but we'll sort it out and we'll get it back to normal. We will restabilize. It won't always be crazy, but we have to acknowledge when it's crazy and the fact that we need to get it balanced again. So I just think accepting it that way is way better and way less stressful and way more hopeful for the future. And also accepting that, all right, it's a little bit nuts, but we'll get it sorted again. So it almost feels like in this story, to jump back into our fictional story, we have characters that are going to look at whatever goes on in their world, not as a catastrophic ending, but rather, okay, hang on. Some things just got clear. Some things just got simplified. Some things just got crazy. But I also want to get things more clarified about maybe some of the most important things that I want to focus on. And in this case, that's actually the chaos that brings them together. Like whatever it is in this fictional story, right? We see, upheaval, and yet the upheaval reveals and maybe brings into focus. And maybe that's why we talked about glasses and contacts at the beginning, brings into focus. The truth is what matters is this connection. The truth is what matters is, that we build and we grow and we, create something that is beautiful. And this is actually what matters to me. So the fear doesn't matter anymore. What matters is the good stuff. So I have the bravery now to do the thing I've been afraid to, which might be to reach out to her. So it does feel like against the backdrop of, some kind of upheaval, some kind of bumps in the road, this is actually the moment that kind of like minimizes the fear and makes it, at least in this case, the divine masculine go ahead and reach out to her. And I think that's really important. We got Ace of Pentacles, we got Seven of Wands. Definitely. This is two people finding a way to start to communicate and do things differently and remove obstacles and start tidying up the chaos and start putting things in order. I feel a lot of hope in this story, a lot of hope for these characters, a lot of hope for the relationship. The fact that it is divine timing at play and this love story is not over. I mean, at one point in time with that 10 of cups in the reverse, it looked like, oh, it's over and there's no way I can talk to her. And the thought of talking to her, even though I want to, is too scary, even though she wants to talk to me too. You know, this is two people who never really wanted things to be over, but didn't know how to get it back until you finally say, screw it. I can't be scared anymore. I had all this love in my heart. I've been lying to myself, acting like even though I have all this passion and all this love, you know, it probably wouldn't work. It's too scary to reach out. It's not going to be too scary to reach out in 7 days. And that's not because something bad is going to happen. It's just something, you know, that changes the perspective is going to happen. And like I said, I like the Tower card, you know, changing things so that you can make things better. That seems to be, I don't know, something bigger occurs that puts it all into perspective, you know? We have a Two of Wands and it's sideways. Yes, they will have a lot of things that they'll have to make choices about, but we see them at a precipice where they might be able to start building a relationship, offering each other, you know, like a chance to, sometimes things have to get crazy before you go, this is nuts. And instead, I'm going to reach out my hand with a solution and I'm going to ask you to take my hand. And when we see them holding hands in front of that tower, sometimes it's like, the only way to fix things is to actually come back together, you know, bring the world back together, reach out a hand and offer someone across the aisle. Like, we need to fix this and we can heal this instead of, you know, have conflict. And, you know, we see that, we've seen it many, many times throughout the world. You know, situations that had tremendous conflict can absolutely come back into like a place of peace. And it just feels like those are the choices that these two are going to be making. And if they both want the same thing, which is like, I would rather have peace and I'd rather have you, and I'd rather have a love story than have this toxic silence between us, then what stopped them from building the bridges, right? This story is so hopeful for something that almost seemed like all hope was lost, and it absolutely is not. It absolutely is not. This also speaks well of both of them. You know, they both seem to be individuals who, even though there's been a lot of fear and there's been a lot of water under the bridge here, they are taking, you know, a certain amount of like personal accountability, I think, for both of them. And then whatever this big upheaval is that puts things like more into perspective and makes the divine masculine in this storyline reach out to her, it feels like she's willing to, you know, receive him with that open hand and new beginning. That World card, it's like, as long as two people are willing to walk through that gateway together and say, yes, I also actually want happiness and I want it to be with you, then everything is still possible. That is really, really lovely. Do we have any other specific message on this for, I don't know if there's going to be balloons involved at some point in time or some event in this next week or something where there are balloons. It feels like it's going to be a very packed week. It feels like there's a lot of busyness. Feels like there's, because somebody out here might be going car camping, sitting out in the middle of the wilderness, trying to think things over. We've got somebody else who's either in like I don't know if she's a bartender or goes to a bar or restaurant where there's a lot of glassware, or if she works in some kind of like laboratory or something where there's beakers and you know, like chemistry apparatus or something. He may be taking a drive somewhere. We may have somebody going to like a major event. Like, I don't know if it's going to be a outdoor concert or there's some kind of, you know, I mean, maybe going to an amusement park, but it just feels like it's a very busy week. And no matter what else they're doing in the middle of their busy weeks, they still have this thing bubbling in the back of their mind, and kind of like the road is taking them toward each other. Okay, so we have the Justice card. It's time to level out the scales. It's time for these two people's paths to take them back to each other so they can fix it. Oh, and it won't be long. One of these days, our love will leave me back. Oh gosh, who sings that? Female voice, really powerful. It's not Patti LaBelle, is it? It's like early 90s, I would say. One of these days, our love will lead you back. I can't think of the rest of the lyrics right now. There's many things that need to be adjusted and put back in their proper places. And it just seems like this is going to be the week where the roads of their life are going to be intersecting. And I almost think that this maybe has been written in the stars for a very long time. Taylor Dane, thank you so much, you guys. Yes. Oh my God, I haven't thought of Taylor Dane in so long. April Fresh, thank you. Natia Johnson, thank you. TLV, thank you. You guys knew instantly. Yes, Taylor Dane. Now that you say it, it's like, well, of course. And we have 3 of Wands. All of this is about the future. I mean, this entire story is all taking place in the future, right? In the next 7 days, a bunch happens. These two then are encouraged to actually recommunicate. They both are on the same page with wanting to communicate. Their lives were always going to intersect. There's always been this, but divine timing had to come into play. And then from there, they start setting things right for their future. I think these two are going to be very successful together. I don't know. I'm seeing like a gigantic clock on somebody's wall also. Like, I don't know if it's in a building or in a home, but it's like way oversized. And I have no idea if that's just because I'm talking about divine timing, but it literally feels like somebody's going to be like, either there is like a clock tower or something in town that will be more like notable, or at the time that these two interact, there will be some major clock, because it even seems like this could have been like the clock tower or something. But I'm seeing a gigantic, very standard, 2 hands turning on the clock. I don't know. It's, for some reason, this is all about like the perfect time for these two, even though it comes in against the backdrop of kind of a busy week, a weird week, a rocky week. And yet it's the perfect time for the two of them. That's even important for things to, come to pass. All right, you guys, I'm going to leave this one here, and we need to get to a Cancerian video right after this. Hi, Lanier Maya. Good to see you. Squishfish, I haven't heard it. Tig Notoro's story about Taylor Dane. I'll have to look that up. I never heard it. Lauren Coe. Hey, darling. So good to see you. I love that, Raven. Fairy tales have always been for us, not just for the fairies. I love that. Devio, Texas. Hi, honey. Good to see you. Hi, Kassassin. 13. Nice to see you. Brave Pink Hero Green. Oh, yeah, we've got some serious weather, don't we? For sure. Brujita Beauty. Good to see you. Supernova. Dwayne Anderson. Wonderful to catch you. Hi, Samantha. CDW. Marikai Healing Arts, Ohio. Wonderful to see you, honey. Marina 222 Luminosity. Wonderful to see you. Oh, you got a new phone. Well, congratulations on that, though. Your screen name is different. Sometimes, because I remember like YouTube gave us the opportunity to change our screen names and have it like as a handle as well, which are 2 different things. And sometimes YouTube does updates where all of a sudden I'll see you guys by your handle and not by your normal screen name, and then it'll flip back. And during this whole week, my videos haven't been processing, and I think it's because they were doing some kind of update. So it might not be your new phone. It might be whatever's been going on behind the scenes, and I'm sure it takes a lot of work behind the scenes to get stuff updated, for a platform as big as YouTube. But I'm just so grateful. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. It seems like things are getting smoothed out now for me. So I'm really, really pleased to be back with you guys. I love YouTube. I mean, it's such a great space. There's so much great information on it, and it works pretty darn smooth. But when something is bumpy for a bit, then it's like, uh-oh. We got to roll through the bumps. Soulmid, hi, babe. Good to see you. Empress Unicorn 111. Hey, Brian. Nice to see you. Moonbeam Wendy, always a pleasure, hon. Travis is in the house. Good to see you. Red and Albert Show. Annette Summersby. Hi, hon. So nice to hang with you tonight. All right, I'm going to bounce out of here so I can get over to James Timmons. Hi, honey. Nice to see you. But I'm going to go ahead and get over to a Cancerian video first on this channel. So, all right, you guys. Lots of love. Bye for right now. Marina, right back at you. Thanks for being here, hon. Cosmo, guys.